Attention seniors, retirees, and disability benefit recipients across the United States. Something major has just happened, and it is going to impact millions of lives. A new deadline is looming, and this one cannot be ignored. September 30th has been set as the day when Social Security recipients, including those receiving SSI and SSDI, must act to ensure there is no disruption in their benefits. This isn't a rumor, and it isn't a small change buried in fine print. This is a deadline that has already been confirmed, and it's going to affect how millions of seniors receive the benefits they depend on to survive. For many seniors who are already living on the edge of financial survival, this update is more than just a policy change. It could be the difference between keeping the lights on and facing another devastating setback. You're watching Truth Lens, the channel where we bring you the latest and most important updates about Social Security, disability benefits, and retirement news that truly affect your day-to-day life. For seniors and disabled Americans struggling to make ends meet, every dollar matters, every deadline matters, and every policy change can mean the difference between security and hardship. At Truth Lens, our mission is to shine a clear light on the facts, explain what these changes mean, and show you exactly how they connect to your life. Today's story is not only urgent, but deeply personal for millions of older Americans who depend on Social Security as their main lifeline. Let's start with the big announcement. Beginning September 30th, the Social Security Administration will be phasing out paper checks for Social Security and SSI payments. This move comes as part of a federal executive order, and the goal is to transition all payments into either direct deposit accounts or the government-issued Direct Express debit card. While some people may see this as a modernization effort, the reality for millions of seniors is far more complicated. Many older Americans live in areas with limited access to banking services. Others face mobility or health challenges that make opening or maintaining accounts nearly impossible. And for some, the reliance on paper checks has been a consistent part of their financial security for decades. The sudden shift is leaving many feeling confused, frustrated, and worried about how they will receive the money they rely on to cover rent, food, medication, and utility bills. The truth is, Social Security isn't just another government program. It is the #1 anti-poverty program for seniors in America. For more than 70 million people, it is the difference between surviving and going without. Yet, as Congressman John Larson recently revealed in a shocking statement, the Social Security Administration itself is facing massive challenges. According to his comments, more than 7,000 employees are being laid off, even as demand for services grows. Seniors have long complained of waiting hours at local Social Security offices, only to be told to reschedule appointments due to staffing shortages. With more layoffs on the horizon, the situation could get even worse. Imagine being a senior, waiting months for a disability determination or struggling to fix a payment issue and realizing the very system you depend on is falling apart before your eyes. That is the reality many are already experiencing, and Larson's testimony confirmed just how deep the crisis runs. For those already struggling, the thought of losing access to paper checks adds another layer of stress. Seniors like Helen, a widow in Ohio, have relied on paper checks for decades. She never needed a bank account because she budgeted carefully in cash. Now she fears her payments will be disrupted if she cannot switch to direct deposit in time. Another senior, James, a disabled veteran living in rural Arkansas, faces a similar problem. The nearest bank is 45 minutes away. And with limited mobility, he worries about how he can set up the account required before September 30th. These are not isolated stories. They represent the daily struggles of millions of seniors who are being asked to adapt quickly to changes that don't always reflect their real circumstances. At the same time, seniors have another pressing question on their minds. What about benefit increases? After all, inflation has soared in recent years, driving up the cost of groceries, utilities, rent, and medical care. Yet Social Security benefits tied to outdated formulas have not kept up. Lawmakers have been pushing to change the way cost of living adjustments are calculated, arguing that seniors deserve increases that reflect the actual expenses they face. Right now, benefits are based on the CPIW, a metric that tracks wages of urban workers. But seniors don't spend like younger workers. They spend more on healthcare, housing, and essentials. By shifting the metric to CPIE, which better reflects elderly spending patterns, experts say benefits could rise by $300 to $500 a month. For seniors barely scraping by, that could be transformative. Imagine a widow on SSI who is currently living on less than $1,000 a month. Every month, she has to make impossible choices, pay for her medications, or keep the heating on during the winter. An increase of $300 or $400 could mean she no longer has to sacrifice her health for survival. Or take the case of Tom, a retired factory worker who relies on SSDI after a back injury left him unable to work. His fixed income doesn't stretch far enough to cover both rent and the special dietary needs his doctor recommends. A benefit increase could finally give him the stability to live with dignity. These are not luxuries. They are basic human needs, and millions of seniors are asking why they are being left behind in an economy that keeps pushing prices higher. The September 30th deadline adds urgency to all of this. Seniors are being told they must move to electronic payments, but many feel the system is already broken. Customer service is overwhelmed, offices are understaffed, and privacy concerns loom large. As Larson pointed out, sensitive personal information of more than 70 million Americans is now being stored in digital systems without proper safeguards. Seniors who waited a lifetime for the benefits they earned are rightfully asking, why should their security and peace of mind be put at risk? And yet, in the middle of all this, there is a growing push in Congress to finally address the shortcomings of the Social Security system. Legislation is being discussed that would not only increase benefits, but also protect seniors from sudden disruptions like this September 30th deadline. For millions who depend on these payments to survive, such measures could not come soon enough. But for now, seniors must prepare, act, and adapt to these immediate changes while hoping that long-term reforms will bring the relief they desperately need. For those living on the margins, these updates are not abstract policy debates. They are lived realities. Seniors across America are asking, when will relief finally come? They have worked their entire lives, paid into the system, and trusted that Social Security would be there for them. Now, with deadlines, staffing cuts, and rising inflation, many feel as though the promise of security is slipping further away. At Truth Lens, we will continue to bring you the facts, the developments, and the updates you need to navigate these uncertain times. Because for millions of seniors, Social Security isn't just a program, it is survival.